ladies and gentlemen of the community of Iowa City Hills. I have to start with Hills now for many reasons. North Liberty and Coralville and all the surroundings area. This is a new episode of Education Exchange, and I am Hani El-Qadi, your host tonight. I represent a very important team, John Karhoff, our big producer, chief producer, and Michael Peterson, his colleague for many, many years, nearly 20-some years.
An experienced crew.
Yes. And tonight we are welcoming Mann Elementary, Horace Mann.
Thank you.
They're very pioneer school, kind of classic Iowa City school. Mm-hmm. And Tim Kemp is here with us, a veteran teacher, right?
Yes.
Tim, you are here tonight representing the whole staff of the great school of Horace Mann. And Julie Robinson, your principal, talked very high of you. Oh. So would you please tell the audience who you are, when did you start, and a little bit bio about your activity that we are going to shed some light on tonight.
Okay, well, I started teaching back in 1998. I taught for a year in Hills before Horace Mann, which I moved to the 99 school year, and I've been there ever since, and excited to be there. It's a great school, a great community, a great neighborhood. Great staff and a wonderful mix of kids there. I kind of went back late in life, in my 30s to get my teaching degree. So I didn't start right out of college teaching, but really enjoy it, and I'm glad I got into it. Along with teaching now for 17 years or so, I also have served on the Hills City Council and currently serving as mayor and up for re-election for my third term this November.
So you are an educator and politician in the same time?
Yes, yeah.
Well, that's amazing. You know, I know that there are some, we have, for instance, a teacher and musician. Mm-hmm. That's common.
Yes. Even at Horace Mann we have that.
Yeah, and we have teacher and a painter. Mm-hmm. We have teacher and a mechanic. We had a teacher who was piano tuning. Expert, but this is probably one of the very few times that I see a politician who is a sixth grade teacher.
Well, one of the things I've always tried to tell the kids, not only my own kids, but my students, is wherever you end up in life, get involved in your community, whether it's in politics, whether it's in a civic organization, whether it's in your religious activity and religious life, get involved. And so I hope to lead by example that way.
In the great community of Hills, that's a farm community, mm-hmm. And industrial too, right?
Yeah.
Is it a challenge being the mayor there, plus your job as a teacher in the district?
I think there's a line that's very fine there between advocating for the community of Hills and also being a teacher in the district, an employee of the district, but I think whenever I've had to talk with administrative officials or even city officials, they welcome that point of view and are respectful of where I'm coming from, whether I'm talking as a teacher or as a mayor of a community that has a school in it that is in and part of the Iowa City School District.
Well, a mayor is usually a step for further upper mobility or upward mobility. Are you ambitious to be one day, for instance, a governor of the state, maybe a senator?
I was aiming a little higher. I think there's still chance and time to get into the 26th presidential election.
Okay.
No, I don't have any plans for a higher office. I love teaching, and the city council and mayor side of it is a nice extra thing to be doing, and I enjoy both.
I myself, I'm selfish. I would like to see a president with a beard, like one of our party.
One of us, representing all of us.
Exactly. So welcome to Education Exchange, sir. And we'll begin by asking you a very simple question now. School of the Wild is your baby there. I mean, you take care of this project. Can you give us a little background? How did it start and how it's evolving now through your school and your efforts?
Well, it was already up and running at Horace Mann by the time I got there in '98, put together by the upper unit teachers at that time. And they were one of several schools at that time that not only went out to the School of the Wild, put on by the University of Iowa, and the week-long activities, but they also arranged for a camp out with their sixth graders on the final night, the Thursday night before the final day of Friday. And so that's kind of a tradition we've continued there, and it's been something that has been a tradition that younger siblings see their older siblings go through, and they want to do it when they get up to the 5th and 6th grade and become sixth graders. And that's kind of our little graduation celebration kind of for these kids, that we keep them overnight. We send the 5th graders back. We have a lot of parents that come out and volunteer and help with after School of the Wild activities, and we do some fishing and canoeing and archery, and we cook out a dinner and make s'mores and sit around the fire and watch the stars and sing and laugh. And it's just kind of another way to see the students in a different light than in the classroom when they're just kind of being themselves.
And how do you get a lot of feedback from parents about the project and how it's successful?
Yeah, I think they're all very happy with it. They've had, like I said, if they have several children, they've been through it several times, and we always encourage them to come out. Now, sometimes their children discourage them from coming out. They'd rather not have mom and dad there, but actually, once we get going with activities, parents are just kind of there in the background to help out if need be, and it's kind of, I think they enjoy seeing their kids out there too, and we kind of all just forget about school and have fun there, and I think the feedback from parents has been very positive.
And how many kids get involved usually in each?
Our class sizes, range from 25 up to 40, depending on the year. So we've had some years where there's a lot of kids camping out, and some years where it's a little bit smaller. We had a few tents that we've loaned out to students. Usually there's enough students that have tents or families that have tents, and then we let them pick their tent mates and match them up, and it's seemed to always work out. We've never had anybody sleeping outside, so it's worked out well.
What else is going on in Horace Mann?
It's amazing that we are 6 weeks into the school year. It seems like school just started, but we've been there for 6 weeks, and at Mann, we've already had, along with our back to school ice cream social, we've had back to school night. We had a community picnic where people from the school came in and had a potluck out in the city park there next to school. We've got a science night coming up, and then there's the always ongoing activities that start up with a chess club in the morning for the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th graders at different times. We just sent out flyers for Girl Scouts that's getting up and running. Many of the kids are involved in soccer teams and things like that. We also have student council that's up and running, which I, of course, like to see, being a politician, that, hopefully these kids will, take that on into junior high and high school, college level, and find that maybe that is their niche, to be involved politically somehow. I think, you can do a lot as just a small group. So we have a lot of things going on just within the general classroom of, it's hard to keep track. You're going to get pigeonholed in my own 6th grade classroom. I'm not always aware of what's going on in the kindergarten or the 2nd graders, but when we get together as a staff, we kind of share the ideas then, and now you find out what's going on and what other classrooms are doing. But it's an exciting time. The beginning of the year always is.
Can you tell me how many staff members are at Hills Elementary?
At Hills Elementary?
Yeah.
No, I can't. I think it's probably, that's a tough question, because if you're just talking classroom teachers, then maybe it's a dozen. But, when you start
how many are at Mann?
At Mann, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, I think we have 10.
So it's similar.
Very similar, very similar in size.
Yeah.
I think they're just around 200, and we're at around 250. So the schools are very similar in their size. They're very similar in their importance to their neighborhoods, and despite it being, both of them being kind of smaller schools, that doesn't mean they're any less important,
Right.
to the people around them and the community around them, the neighborhood. And Horace Mann and like Hills, they draw from several different neighborhoods. It's not just one neighborhood, but students are bussed in from in the country or from one of the mobile home parks around. So you get a nice mix. And certainly at Horace Mann, we're very excited about the diversity we have of, we have a wonderful international night that's put on in the spring by our ELL teachers. And, it's great to see all the different countries represented, all the different food that's represented, and to have these students share their culture with us.
I know that Horace Mann as a building was probably built in 1917, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The same time Sabin was built.
Yeah.
Because I taught at Sabin's building
Okay.
when it was CEC. And those are pretty old buildings.
Yeah.
Does the district have a plan to renovate or update, or have you had some work
Currently,
done?
yes. We've had a little bit of work done, and we are set to have kind of a massive upgrade and overhaul in, I think, 2017, actually, after we celebrate 100 years of Horace Mann, so probably 2018. And to update the school, and we're excited about that. It does start to show its wear and tear after 100 years, and we would like it to be upgraded, and so we're hopeful. But there's also some pride, I think, we take in that our building is 100 years old. I think Longfellow also was built about that time. And so, there is some excitement of, wow, we're coming up on 100 years. In fact, I was in Hills one day just picking up my trash cans, bringing up the house, and a neighbor came by, and we started talking, and he had forgot where I worked, and I said at Horace Mann, and he told me he had gone to Horace Mann in the 30s. So I told him, well, you'll need to come up sometime. You probably won't recognize it. But, I think we have, just like Sabin, the old structure is still there. There's not a lot that's been done to the inside, remodeling-wise, really, that you wouldn't recognize the whole thing. But there's some pride in being 100 years old, but there's some excitement in what the future brings for us.
Definitely, it has a different flavor. It's like going sometimes to an antique building or an old church. Although it's not very elaborate or modern, but yet it has special flavor to it.
It does, and I think the students that come back to visit feel that, and they like coming back. And we have a lot of kids that come back and volunteer and help out and are involved after they leave Mann, and that's always fun to see too.
Tim, is there anything you want to tell the community before? I know that you prepared a wonderful video for us, and this will take probably the rest of the program to see how the kids get involved in the activities.
Yep.
And we would like to show that. But before we move to this segment of the program, I would like you to talk to the people if you have anything, if you have any message to the community. I know that you are a radio talented guy, right?
I did work in radio for a while, yeah.
Very good. So now the camera is yours and the viewers are waiting for your words.
Well, that's always why I got into radio. I had a perfect face for radio. I'm not used to the camera angle. But, I think the exciting thing about us for School of the Wild is that we're able to take students out there and teach them about Iowa and what's around them outside the city, just outside the city, and that the university puts on a great program there, and the foundation for the school district is helping us go out there, as they are other schools, and our PTO does a great job of funding that, so that students who might not normally have that opportunity to go out and experience the things we do out there get to go out and get to camp out. Some have never camped out before, and they're a little leery about that, but once they get out there, they love it. So, I think the great thing about Iowa City and the surrounding towns are how they support the school district. And a lot of people are involved in their schools, and I think that's the best thing. It's whether it's your town and your government or a civic organization, if you're involved, you're going to help make that a better place for not only your students and your family, but for those who come afterwards. And so I think that's what I would say to the community is keep supporting your schools, keep supporting your town, and good things are going to continue to happen for us here in Iowa City, and they already are.
It has been a delight seeing you tonight, Tim, and would like you to come again. But we are taking now some of your time to show people what you're doing. and I'm sure this will be complementary to your presence with us tonight.
Oh, well,
So thank you very much, and let us go now to show our viewers what you are doing at the Great School of Horace Mann.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.